There is Rory MacDonald. He's from Kelowna, nice town in Western Canada, and he has spent the majority of his professional mixed martial arts career training at TriStar Gym. He has moved around a little bit for these last few fights. He's trained down here in South Florida as well. Has always been a very focused professional mixed martial artist. Again, from that new breed of mixed martial artists who have been training since he was a kid. He is dangerous everywhere, big for the division, and he wants another world title.
And his opponent, Ray Cooper III.
Here it comes, Randy, the stomp to the cage.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's when you know it's on. Seeing a few people come to the cage like this. BJ Penn comes to mind. He comes stomping out like this as well. And man, you always knew there was going to be fireworks. This guy's got a great wrestling pedigree, state champion in the state of Hawaii. Amazing power in both hands, and he really gets it done. We're seeing a little more refined and mature Ray Cooper III this last 2 years.
Tail of the tape brought to you by CarParts.com. Rory MacDonald, the much taller fighter. He's 4 years older. He has a 4-inch reach advantage on the arms, 2 extra inches on the legs. And the record is identical. We'll see how this one plays out. Lillian Garcia, let's get it going.
And now it is time for your main event. This is sanctioned by the Florida Athletic Commission, and it is a semifinal fight in the welterweight division. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, he is a mixed martial artist. Standing at 6 feet tall, he weighs in officially 170 3/4 pounds. In 30 professional fights, this veteran has a record of 22 wins, 7 losses, and 1 no draw, with 15 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada, here is your number 2 seed, the Red King, Rory MacDonald. His opponent, fighting out of the red corner, he is a boxer. Standing at 5'7", he officially weighs in at 169 3/4 pounds. In 30 professional fights, this veteran also has a record of 22 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw, with 21 victories by way of stoppage. Fighting out of Pearl City, Hawaii, here is your number 3 seed and the 2019 PFL Welterweight World Champion, Brada Ray Cooper III. Your referee in charge, Gary Copeland.
Gary Copeland, equipped with our ref cam, oversees this main event. Ray Cooper III in the blue and red, Rory MacDonald in the black and gray, one of the most highly anticipated welterweight matchups of the year, seconds from starting here in the PFL Smart Cage.
Round 1, you ready, Red? Round 1, you ready, Blue? Let's fight.
Right to the center of the cage they go, jab from Rory MacDonald. Cooper comes in, now a snatch single from Rory MacDonald, tries to press Cooper to the cage. Ray switches position.
Rory looking for double underhooks here up against the cage. We had surmised that he might look for a takedown and try to put Ray on his back. It looks like that is definitely a part of the strategy here.
Cooper and his camp did anticipate this, Randy, that wrestling would be a big part of it, and he's certainly no slouch in the wrestling department, although usually he's on the offensive.
Absolutely true. We have not seen him have to fight off of his back. It'll be interesting to see if Rory can put him on his back and see how he handles that, and see how he deals with that pressure and being on the bottom.
You know, one of the fights that comes to mind where Rory was able to do that against a very good wrestler, Division I wrestler, was against Tyron Woodley. He was able to out-wrestle him, put him on his back and surprise him. And looks like he might be trying to play that same blueprint here against Ray Cooper.
Nice pressure and posture here as they go over under. Now Rory able to get double underhooks again. Unrelenting on this attempt at the body lock. Sometimes tough for the taller fighter to have good head position when you're pressing against the cage, Randy.
Sometimes the taller fighter can get leverage if he gets underhooks and get his hand locked. It gives him length and leverage to manipulate his opponent and throw him or put him down.
Pressing and squeezing here against the cage. Almost 2 minutes gone in the first round of 3 here in a welterweight semifinal. Kenny, of course, one of the other benefits of this type of fight for Rory MacDonald is you start getting some lactic acid going into the muscles of Ray Cooper III, perhaps less explosive on those punches.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you get a guy who is as explosive as Ray, you want to try to look for ways to slow them down, keep them off balance, to surprise them, kind of thwart what they're able to do, especially early on. Ray starts his fights like he's shot out of a cannon, and to slow him down early is not a bad strategy here for Rory MacDonald.
Cooper tries to work himself off. Now he drops down for a takedown attempt. In deep, and it's Ray Cooper III who reverses and wrestles Rory MacDonald to his back.
That was a beautiful level change and double leg takedown there from Ray Cooper.
That second effort is what got it done for Ray.
And now Cooper will try to work some offense from this top position. Of course, Rory MacDonald looking for the lockdown here. Very, very efficient on his back. Cooper able to pass to a half guard, half mount, excuse me.
Yeah, Rory was trying to go to a high guard there, and Ray was able to thwart that attempt. Now in half guard, where Ray loves to do work here with his grounded pound.
And something to watch if you're an MMA fan here is how much power Ray Cooper can generate in very, very short spaces. Very few people in the game better at turning the hips, turning the shoulders, and generating a lot of force over a 6 or 8 inch punch, Randy.
Yeah, he's like a T-Rex in there. He's got those short levers, and they're very strong, very powerful. It's amazing what he can generate.
Absolutely, and if you're a submission guy off of your back, you know, these are the kind of nightmare matchups you don't want. Like Randy said, you know, these short, strong levers here from Ray Cooper are hard to lock up. Rory's got to look for a way to get back to his feet here.
The left hand coming over the guard of Rory MacDonald. Ray Cooper has landed 6 or 8 of those, and now he goes for that arm triangle choke. We saw him finish Jason Poney with that in the regular season.
And he was able to do that from half guard from this very position. You don't always have to get to that far side, especially when you're built like Ray Cooper.
When you have deltoids that are as big as most people's buttocks, you're able to put some serious pressure on that one carotid artery. A nice left hand sneaking over that right shoulder of Rory MacDonald one more time. 30 seconds remain here in round number 1.
Ray's doing a good job of winning that inside battle. He's swimming his arms to the inside, which is allowing him to control Rory on his back.
The tight squeeze here on the arm triangle choke.
I don't think he quite has the angle here. It is tight and uncomfortable, but I don't think he has Rory flat on his back where he needs him.
Rory got it.
Rory's face.
Rory got an arm
red.
across to that far leg, and that
Less than
changed the angle
5
of his body.
seconds. Ray Cooper squeezes to the end of round 1. Welcome back to a playoff welterweight main event. Ray Cooper III in the blue and red, Rory MacDonald in the black and gray. Round 2 begins. It was a wrestling round in round 1. Short hook there from Ray Cooper, snaps the head of Rory MacDonald as he attempts a high kick. And now Rory once again in on the shot. Cooper is able to negate it, grab a body lock and a takedown attempt of his own. Back to the wrestling we go, Kenny.
Yeah, see, I think Rory initiating these takedowns, I think he's being a little bit too predictable now. I think he's going to find more success if he's able to stay on the feet and utilize that great jab that he has, because Ray is winning this wrestling battle right now.
The winner of this bout moves on to the PFL Welterweight Championship October 27th against Magomed Karamov. That is a rematch that Ray Cooper has been hunting for 3 years. That is a match that Rory MacDonald wants. The winner gets it. 1 minute gone here in round number 2. Left hand goes to work for Ray Cooper III on the body of Rory MacDonald.
I'm kind of surprised that Rory conceded that takedown. He didn't make Ray work for it and actually put him on the bottom. He pulled bottom. He went to guard. I would like to see him open his feet, create some space, make Ray really work at keeping him down there. And I think in making Ray work to keep him down there, he'll find a submission opportunity potentially.
Continuing to look for that high guard lockdown, Rory MacDonald trying to control the posture of Ray Cooper III. As Ray steps to a half mount again, nice pass.
Yeah, that's what Ray does so well. As soon as you open those legs or try to adjust to go high, he pushes down that leg, gets control right into half guard.
You can see the bottom right corner there. It is always a family affair for Ray Cooper III. That's his mom on the left, his lovely wife Kelly on the right. His father and two brothers are in the corner right in front of our broadcast position. And Ray Cooper working on top of Rory MacDonald.
This is where Rory really needs to try to frame up, get his back up against the cage, and cage walk himself back to his feet here. He's staying a little bit too flat on his back. He needs to blade his body towards Ray Cooper and get those frames in place in between him and his opponent. Now he's starting to get an underhook there, but
he's trying, but Ray just keeps taking that away from him. Every time he tries to get it, he gets some position and some angle with his hips. Ray just repummels him and slips right back out of it.
He sure does, and when he does it, he's threatening that arm triangle as well.
Every time Rory tries to go to one hip, Ray forces him back down, tucks his head in that armpit, and threatens a choke. Nice left hand over the guard. We saw that several times in round number one. It continues here in round two.
Rory is sitting up and connecting to Ray Cooper, which allows Ray to just kind of put him right back flat to his back. He needs to start separating, get rid of that connection, get those arm and leg frames in between him and Ray so he can get back to his feet. But Ray just doing a good job of staying on him like a wet blanket.
Gary Copeland steps in to stand it up. He wants more action. Cooper right back into the pocket. Nice right hand and a follow-up hook from Rory MacDonald, followed with a jab and a push kick.
See, this is what Rory needs to do. This is where he's going to find more success here. Not to say that Ray isn't dangerous there either, though.
Rory stumbled there. Ray took that as an opportunity to pour it on. Clinch here, plum grab, and now Cooper goes back to the wrestling. A flipping of the script that a lot of people had written. They thought that Rory would be the one who wanted this fight on the ground. Ray Cooper, the wrestler on top, is a nightmare for anybody.
Yeah, he did want to be on the ground, but not on his back here against Ray Cooper. He's trying to attack a triangle here, trying to elevate to try to slip that right leg up and over, but Ray is onto it. He's got his hips on top of the hips of Rory MacDonald, and that is not going to happen for him.
30 seconds remain in round number two. A trip to the PFL Season 3 Championship on the line. Rory trying to pepper Ray Cooper with enough punches to make him change his posture, maybe open up some space to move, and he's rewarded with another left hand over the top. Take a look at Gary Copeland's view from the ref cam. As we close in on the end of round number two, Ray Cooper III finishes yet again on top. We'll take a listen inside the red corner.
A lot of guys had 2 inch right now. Okay, fine.
Good, bro. It's good.
Your team got 2 guys in too.
I understand, but you gotta finish him.
One step back and counter with your right hand. That's it. Let him move over these punches.
Go second. Go second.
You need to go.
Go with second.
Relax, bro.
Let him throw, counter him, put him away. Okay, let's go.
Touch, step back.
Go second. Second.
Kenny Flory in the corner of Rory MacDonald suggesting that he counter strike here.
Yeah, I mean, he could certainly do that. It's going to be tough because Ray really isn't trying to have any meaningful exchanges on the feet against Rory MacDonald. He's trying to level change and go at his legs. He should initiate with the jab, then look to counter if he can. But right now, Ray landing some big shots on the feet here against Rory.
Oh,
MacDonald
front choke.
Tries for the takedown. Ray Cooper III takes his neck, and now he's back on top. Interesting exchange there on the feet. A double jab in right hand put Rory MacDonald in a little bit of trouble. And here we are, 4.5 minutes remaining in this fight, Randy, and Ray Cooper already on top. And this is not a puzzle that Rory MacDonald has been able to solve so far in this fight.
Yeah, this is tenacious wrestling, being able to get a guy on the ground and then just float over him, not let him get a sniff of getting back to his feet.
The only stand-up so far has been awarded to Rory MacDonald by the referee for lack of action, and then they ended up right back on the ground not long after that.
Ray's corner said, use your jab. Your punches set up everything. He came out through 2 jabs, a nice right hand, and was right back in on those legs.
They also talked about controlling Rory's hands when he was down here in the guard. You can see Ray making sure he doesn't leave anything out there by itself. I tell you what, it's unconventional to just train in your garage with your dad and your brothers, but they are all fighters in that family, and it is a complete training camp.
Absolutely. He's extremely focused. It keeps him hungry. And he believes in this process, and it's been working.
Forearm of Ray Cooper III pressing into the throat and neck of Rory, making it impossible for him to breathe properly, making it difficult for him to see what he wants to do, closing the guard and holding down. This strategy looks like Rory MacDonald is just asking the referee for a stand-up. He is not initiating anything. Until now, he puts a left foot on the hip of Ray Cooper, who just powers right back in.
And that's what he needs to do. He needs to get those feet on the hips, try to push away, but Ray very good at control. There's a nice armbar attempt, but again, those short, stocky, strong arms of Ray Cooper, that's gonna be difficult to do.
Negated by Cooper, he ends up now in half mount. Round 3 halfway gone. Welterweight semifinal. The winner moves on to face Magomed Karamov in the Season 3 championship. Hammer fists from the top for Ray Cooper III. No answer yet for Rory MacDonald, who's running out of time as we close in on 2 minutes.
Ray doing a good job of keeping the back of Rory MacDonald pinned to the canvas, and he's chipping away. Anytime Rory goes to move, he turns to ground and pound. Anytime he stops the ground and pound, he pins and controls.
Kimura attempt.
Cooper able to straighten his leg out, and now he steps and pulls his arm away.
So much power.
90 seconds, 90 seconds.
Cooper's so good with the posture and control, staying just active enough to remain on top here. Punishment to the body. Heavy pressure into that throat and a right hand.
Rory doing a decent job here of tying Ray up, but this is more defensive stuff. I think he's hoping for a stand-up here from referee Gary Copeland, but not really able to attack with any significant offense here.
Cooper looking to improve his position, create some more significant damage from the top. He still wants a finish with 40 seconds remaining in this fight.
30 seconds, 30 seconds. Hip height, yep. Get his head under your arm.
Cooper able to step over to a half mount.
Now Rory in a butterfly guard. Let's see if he can elevate the hips of Ray Cooper.
Let's go, Rory, throw it, throw it.
Stand up here.
10 seconds, throw it, baby, throw it. Yeah, throw it.
As we close in on the end of the fight, 10-second clapper sounds. Big knee from Rory MacDonald. Cooper misses with a hook. Push kick attempt there from Rory MacDonald, who just doesn't have it in the tank. 3 rounds gone, the final bell sounds. Another welterweight semifinal in the books. Ray Cooper III would appear to have wrestled his way to a victory over the MMA icon, Rory MacDonald. Dan giving him a drink, pat on the back. Looks like enough. Cagenomics Stats Bundle brought to us by Geico. 3 takedowns for Ray Cooper III. High percentage of strikes landed, most of those on the ground. Happy on the North Shore at Grandma's house. Ray Cooper III watch party. Exclusive fighter performance rating is sponsored by Rich Energy. All 3 rounds in the FPR algorithm go to Ray Cooper III. Let's check out the Verdict Global Scorecard. With Verdict, you, the fans, get to be the judge. Here's how the fans scored the fight. 3 rounds apiece. Excuse me, 3 rounds to Ray Cooper III. How'd our announcers call it? Well, Randy and Kenny agree with the FPR and the fan vote. We'll see what the judges think. Lillian Garcia has the official decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored the bout 30-27. For your winner, by unanimous decision, and clinching a spot in the 2021 PFL World Championship, Ray Cooper III.
All right, I'm here with our winner, Brother Ray Cooper III, putting on the championship gear and headed to a 3rd straight PFL championship bout. Hawaii, stand up. Brother, there was a lot of talk in this fight about how if Rory MacDonald wanted to beat you, he had to take this fight to the ground. Well, the fight happened on the ground, but it was your wrestling that proved to be the difference. You surprised by how it played out?
No, not surprised one bit. I knew the whole thing, the whole part of his game plan. But nothing but respect for Rory. I watched him when I was young. He's an awesome fighter. And yeah, I told you guys gotta start listening.
And now, of course, what this means is we get a championship rematch from season 1, a fight that you've been looking for almost 3 years. Ray Cooper III, Magomed Karamov 2. How much you looking forward to that?
Yeah, I knew this was gonna happen. This is my plan. I'm gonna run through everybody, and I get him next. You're not gonna be able to get away this time.
Congratulations, Ray Cooper III, headed to a 3rd straight championship fight, October 27th, right here at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, Florida.
Love you,